What? We just want to... This is my favorite thing now, is just like being
This
on
is
the
his
chat.
favorite.
Oh,
Get in the frame, Kyle.
wait,
Kyle's over here on Twitch being like, why aren't we starting the show yet?
Chaos!
Well,
Okay, I'm done.
for you, Kyle, here we are.
Now
How's
I'm for
everybody
real.
doing? How do we sound? I feel like I sound a little loud. Maybe?
I feel like I don't know how I sound. Only you can tell me that. It's so dark in here because it looks so much better with the lights off.
Yeah, it's very cinematic. Kyle was using our cinematic lights today, and I'm sorry, I have something wrong with my contacts, so if I make lots of weird eye motions today.
How's my audio? Can y'all hear me? It's gloomy.
We both sound good. Oh, Bad
Hey,
Out of Hell by Meatloaf. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Daniel. Gloomy. What? Look at all those party lights there, Crystal. It's only gloomy because you're not here with us.
It's only gloomy because Kyle has a negative attitude.
Oh, yeah. Like,
It does look better with the lights off in here, I will admit. I just can't see anything because I'm like totally blind and have terrible night vision.
we just need to get you reading glasses and you will be great.
No, I finally have, I'm going to get new glasses. I have vision insurance now, so I can get cheap glasses. I've had these glasses for like 6 years, and they're starting to crack in the corners, so that's how I know I need to get new glasses.
Wow. So first up, if you guys saw that little ticker at the bottom, our free domestic shipping for orders over $99 code today is PT-pit stop.
Pit stop!
Because that's what we're doing. We're going to the pit stop. We're getting the tires pulled off. We're getting a little spit and shine. Is that what they call it?
Yeah, I guess
in the
so.
racing world?
I mean, this game's already like pit stopped itself. It's already falling apart, so we're just going to continue taking it the rest of the way apart.
I don't know what happened.
Yeah. It's going to be
So
pretty
it'll be
fun.
good.
What were you guys up to last week? All 7 days we haven't talked. Actually, no. I was
put the
hanging out
ticker
with
on
It's
again.
Lit Pinball for a hot minute on a Halloween stream. That was pretty fun. I didn't do anything for Halloween. I just
Great.
sat and played Assassin's Creed. Since Cyberpunk got delayed again, I have plenty of
I
time.
know.
I
Not
know.
until December now, right?
Yeah, so the day I took off to be able to play it is now a day we are going to go house shopping. So I guess almost as fun as playing Cyberpunk. We'll see.
We shall see.
We
Oops.
shall see.
I'm gonna put this in the chat for you guys too. Hello everyone. Hello Wildman9999.
Hello.
The Wisp is here. Pin Daddy, I sent your swag pack officially again. Even though it was sent and got lost. But I'm glad your demo man parts did not get lost, which is good. But then,
Yeah.
you know, someone's rocking a Marco hat like at the USPS.
Yeah, it was,
We'll be fine.
you can deal without a hat for a little while, but man, the demo man, you need parts for that thing.
And Jonathan, I just put in the chat the 24-hour free domestic shipping code. Just in your coupon box on the checkout, type in all caps PT-pit stop.
Pit stop.
That's our code for today. Yeah.
That's a pretty clever one. I like that one. I like it when we brainstorm what our free shipping codes are going to be. Turbo Bobby was fun, but I like Pit Stop. Turn Left was good too. I don't know.
Yeah. They're all pretty good. Midge helps us make them. Steve, we got an emoji for him. Let's all throw in our Midge emojis.
Yeah, he got
Steve
married.
emoji.
He got
Steve
married on
Brogy.
Halloween, so he's.
He got married on Halloween.
Hopefully he doesn't join the chat at all, and he's doing something nice and relaxing. We'll see though.
He's probably watching the show, maybe.
I hope not. Steve, log off. Ban that guy. Do a 24-hour ban. Get him out of here.
I don't know how to do that. Pinball Dog, howdy from ATL. Ooh,
Hey.
awesome. That's where I'm from. I can't wait to go to Portal Pinball Arcade
Yes.
in Kennesaw. They just got a few new games coming in.
Like new games or new old games?
New. They
Ooh.
got that new.
I got that new, double new.
I think they got. I gotta double check before I, start spreading scandalous information. But I'm pretty sure we got them an Avengers.
Oh, rad.
From us, and then they also got a Guns N' Roses.
Oh, rad.
And,
I want to play that game.
Low key, I really want to play that game.
I don't like Guns N' Roses, but that game looks neat, so I want to check it out.
Pin Daddy, thanks for the subscription.
Yeah, hey, thanks.
Oh, look, you got compliments on your shirt. Greetings from Germany. Let's talk about your awesome shirt. I'm so jealous, by the way.
Yeah, okay, thank you. I have a sweet loose flip shirt. My great friend Andy sent this to me months ago.
It's like the Dragon Ball Z dragon. It's amazing.
Andy, he runs a t-shirt shop at Loose Flip. He also has a super cool Twitch stream he does very often, but again, he's in Germany, so it's a little bit off time for us, but he's got a super cool pinball collection, and he's a very talented tattoo artist. So I generally don't wear light color shirts when I'm working on stuff because the dirt shows all over the place, but
that's a good point.
Thank you. Thank you for the shirt. And he sent me some rad stickers, which I can't wait to plaster all over my my toolbox and stuff.
Oh yeah, look, you got some space. There's some real estate.
Got the loose flip, and then
I love that design.
He does a lot of really cool old school. Actually, here, let me put it over this one. He does a lot of old school, like Americana style tattoo work, like Ed Roth style. It's really cool. Pinball Ain't Dead. That one's my favorite.
And you can like Loose Flip on Facebook, right?
Yeah.
And
he's
follow
got an Instagram
them on
page.
Twitch.
Yep. Twitch. I host
Maybe
his
some
Twitch
live streaming.
stream on our channel sometimes. He's fun to. He's got a cool collection of goofy games like old Bally's and newer Gottlieb's. It's fun to watch. He's way cooler.
Colin
than
Baxter, what's going on? Colin's saying our sound keeps going out and now the video is frozen. Can anyone else confirm, or is Colin out in the boonies today? I hope the latter, because that would be sad.
Yeah, what's going on? Good here, good
Everyone
here.
said good for me, good for me. Poor Colin. I'm sorry. Maybe a hard reset.
Maybe Twitch just needs to catch up.
Everyone said cheers, fine. Okay, good. Okay, as we continue on with our catching up, we have a couple of great announcements for you. The first one is one y'all have heard before, but for our few people watching on Facebook and YouTube, we are eventually not going to be restreaming on all three platforms. We will only be on Twitch. So if you could take a moment and head over to twitch.tv/Marco Pinball, you can get a free Twitch account. Twitch is a great service. It seems intimidating at first, but it's really not. And you get to join the awesome community and use these little, you follow us. I was going to say use the emotes, but that's a subscription level thing. We'll get you into that. But come on and join us over on Twitch, because Twitch is the place to be. And once everyone has done the great migration, we'll start doing a lot more fun Twitch stuff.
The great
Do you ever see Did you ever see Brian O'Neill pinball stream and there's someone else does it too, but they race these marbles and then you just type in the Twitch stream that you want to play, so you type in like play or something, and then it puts you in the game, and then we all like watch these marbles go down these intricate courses, and you're hoping yours can win.
We did that. We finished a live stream once,
we could do all sorts of stuff
right?
like that.
And we finished like a gameplay stream once, and then I think we were looking for someone to raid, so we raided the O'Neills, and we just like were so into the marble thing, we didn't want them to continue playing pinball. So it's like, no, keep marble racing. This is rad. It was so much fun.
Yeah, that was cool. So there's a lot of cool stuff we can do once we're all over on Twitch.
Yes.
So go ahead and join us. Join us on twitch.tv.
And once
RB Flip. Yay. Thank you. Dang. We got RB Flip France. We got people from Germany. We have Australia. Thank you guys. This is probably like the weirdest time of day for you. Or a more perfect
Oh.
time of day for you for the stream.
It's nighttime in Europe, and it's very early morning in Australia.
Hi,
so
RB Flip.
thanks for joining us. It's the very middle of the day here in South Carolina. So
6:14 a.m. in Australia. Whew.
all right. Well, get a
I'm
bowl
gonna
of
go
cereal,
fresh.
go make your eggs or something,
Yeah.
and
Get some coffee.
yeah, get some coffee. Drink some for me. I'm not allowed to drink coffee on the day we have to stream because then I talk too fast. So.
Oh, nice. 9:15 in France. So that's good. They're in lockdown, so they can just hang out with us while we get this game all ready to be cleaned.
Stay safe. Yeah, this game.
Croatia, 9:15. Nice.
Wait, Croatia's not. And what time is it here? It's 3 o'clock. Okay, so. Okay, 6 hours ahead.
But before we talk about the game, Kyle, we still have more announcements.
Oh man, what do we have to talk about?
Okay, well, I know we have a lot of announcements today. So we are looking to hire another Marco team member, which is super exciting. And we are accepting resumes. Please send your resumes to careers@marcospec.com. I will type that in the chat. Please send resumes to careers. And Kyle, why don't you just tell everyone how awesome it is to work with us at Marco Pinball, aka Marco Specialties.
It's pretty awesome. Emoto and I had an idea. It's like, how about we spend all day fixing pinball machines on cameras, and will you pay us to do that? And they were like, no. It's awesome. It's a really fun company to work for because you are on the ground level in the pinball industry. And you are the pinball industry, right? So it is very exciting. The people are wonderful. Living in South Carolina as someone who grew up in the California Bay Area is a fun opportunity. It is very different here in so many ways, but man, the one thing I can't get over is how good the food is. So if you like to eat, this is a great place to live.
We got good food down here in the South, just saying. And for all of y'all out there, yes, you would need to move to South Carolina. That's the caveat. Now, this is a career position, so depending on your level of expertise in pinball, let's talk. Send us your resume. You know, yep. Kyle, we found Kyle over in Silicon Valley, you know, working with Pinball Pirate up in San Francisco. And we were like, we need you on our team. Come with us to South Carolina. And it took a little pushing and shoving, but
a little bit.
Look at him.
But they brought me out here, and now I am in South Carolina, and it's great. So if you are interested, you should apply. It is a fun position. It is a lot of work. Pinball is a lot of work, but it is very rewarding. Yes.
So we sell pinball parts, obviously, but we're here to keep pinball alive.
Yes.
That's the point of these parts, right? So we're always trying to spread education and knowledge of pinball to everyone to keep this hobby growing and staying sustainable.
That's the
you
thing.
wouldn't necessarily be taking our jobs. So if you have any if you work on pinball machines or anything like that, you'd probably be a great fit for us.
If you have a passion for pinball, and you feel like you can take whatever skill set you might currently have, whether it is in pinball or just the burning desire and passion you have for pinball, those are the people that really would make an amazing addition to the team. And you'd have to work with me, and that comes with a lot of ups and downs. I like to be grumpy in my corner and listen to music and drink coffee all day, but you know, maybe if you like to do that too, we can be office buddies. So.
Yeah, there you go. Yay, keeping pinball alive. Do we get our own emote if we move to South Carolina from roller pinball? Absolutely.
Yes. If you move to South Carolina, you could have your own emote. You could work on the show.
Make sure you get a job with us first. Don't just move to South Carolina.
Yeah, I mean, unless you want to. It's not a bad place to be.
It is pretty. They have a beach. They have a beach. They have mountains.
There's a lot of mountains.
They have
rivers.
Great food. Pimento cheese.
Yep.
Coca-Cola.
Lots of cardinals. I thought that cardinals were only something that only existed on Christmas cards.
Rednecks.
But cardinals are
Yeah,
real.
but you know what? Rednecks are everywhere.
There's a lot of rednecks here, but they're a different kind of redneck.
You ever go to Sacramento, California?
Sacramento,
I couldn't tell the
honestly, I
difference.
feel like Sacramento has a higher concentration of rednecks than Columbia, South Carolina does.
Yeah.
Come on down and visit. It's all right. It's hot, but it's wonderful.
And thank you, Vernicius. That's a great comment. He said, I think if you keep doing these videos, we'll see an increase in sales. And he buys stuff each time he's watching.
Hey, cool.
Got your screw assortment pack, magnetic bull, and a mask from the last video. Oh, thank you. I
right.
hope you loaded up your cart enough to use that free shipping code.
And now we can tell all of the big
Right.
bosses and say, hey, this guy bought stuff because he was watching us on Twitch, and then we can keep doing this show.
Yeah, we just want to spend time with y'all. Okay, more announcements.
Okay, next.
An announcement, important announcement. We are not streaming on Thanksgiving. No!
Nope. Sorry.
Thanksgiving for us in the U.S. is Thursday, November 26th. Is that right?
Sure. It's on Thursday. I know that.
I got it right. And we will not be streaming. However, we love spending time with y'all every week, and we were heartbroken to think that we would miss an entire week. So Kyle and I are coming into the office on Friday, and we will be streaming on Friday, November 27th, same time, 3 p.m. Eastern. It'll just be Friday that week and not Thursday.
You know what? Maybe we should stream longer, and we can do a Black Friday like sale-a-thon. We could do like a infomercial. Remember those sweet infomercials? Remember the Home Shopping Network? That's what we should do on Friday. You're like, no, I don't want to do that. I do.
I got kids to hang out with. No,
Fair.
we will do something. We'll do something.
Okay.
It'll be good. We'll all have fun. It'll
We
be
have to finish
Black
this
Friday, and
game.
we'll all talk about all the different pinball shopping deals that we'll be doing. We'll definitely have our Black Friday, Cyber Monday pinball weekend deal, which is, you already know it. Free shipping, $99 for domestic orders.
Who'da thunk?
And, maybe I'll be able to I'll work with This Week in Pinball, and they usually put out an awesome article that gives all the deals that all types of pinball companies are doing.
Huh.
And we'll kind of go over them, give some shout outs to some other companies.
All
right.
the companies.
I think
that's
that's
a fun
it.
announcement, I think.
I think that's all of our announcements. So, without further ado, we are going to go to our product spotlight of the week. Are you ready, Kyle?
I guess so. Wait, hold on. No, I'm not ready. Do you have to work on New Year's Eve? Is that like a thing? That's not a holiday, is it? I've never had a job where I got holidays off, so I'm trying to recalculate my brain to what days I
I'm
get
pretty
off.
sure, yes.
Okay,
I'd have to
well,
look at our sheet.
Whatever, we should
All
stream.
right, so Novus. We all know and love probably Novus.
Let's talk
So
about the
Kyle,
Novus.
come up closer to the camera and give us our product spotlight. Why do we want this Novus tri-pack? And you're holding up the sample pack, which is our most budget-friendly pack that has all three.
Yep. Yeah, I think we'll do a real deep dive on Novus, but the product spotlight we're going to do is on the tri-pack. So I think it's a nice polishing cloth and then a 2-ounce bottle of each level of the polish. As most of you know from my opinions and also a lot of other people, mostly you're using this stuff. Number 2, the red bottle of Novus. I don't really use number 3 much at all, and I don't really use number 1 much at all. But when you do need them, it is handy to have a small bottle. The little tri-pack is a handy way to get all 3 grades, to supplement your supply of Novus. What we use Novus for in the pinball world is to clean these dirty games, and they're plastics. Novus is a plastic polish. It is a mega hyper super light abrasive. And what that is good for is cutting the nasty layer of dirt that ends up on top of a very dirty pinball machine. Novus is safe to use on all finishes, plus or minus, depending on the condition of the game, right? Our older electromechanical games that are starting to plank and little bits of the finish are coming off, got to be gentle how you clean those. But for your new Sterns, for your 90s games, and most of your 80s games, especially anything covered with a sheet of Mylar, Novus number 2 is a great plastic, or a great cleaner and polisher. I use it on everything, and I have been using it on everything for a long time. I don't want to start the giant argument of what to use to clean your pinball machine, but Novus number 2 is a good, safe way to clean your game and give it a nice clean shine, then come in afterwards with a nice light coat of wax, and you're going to have a game that plays super fast. Also good and safe for ramps. It is safe for all of your playfield plastics. I use Novus to clean everything on a pinball machine. Is there some nasty adhesive or smudge on the cabinet? Put some Novus on a towel and rub it out. You got a nasty coin door that maybe has some weird spot on it? Try some Novus. You'd be surprised at how awesome it is to clean everything. I use it to clean my glasses sometimes. I use it to clean my toolbox. I use it to clean everything. It's really awesome. So it's a really useful tool to have around. But anyways, is this a good like infomercial, like home shopping network pitch? Maybe I missed my calling. I don't know. So the pack you'll get from us, I just took one out of the show pack. Oh no, go ahead, finish it off. I'm just gonna say, like, the other thing you get is it's either going to be like a nice cloth, or I don't remember how we sell it, but this is how we do it at the shows. So it's the tri-pack is just each grade, a 2-ounce bottle, and a cloth. So yeah.
The 8-ounce bottle comes with the orange microfiber.
Okay. Yeah, I think I think this thing is like $5 or $6 maybe for the tri-pack. I don't remember. How off am I? Do you have the pricing up there? No? Steve isn't here to check it out for us, is it? We don't have a Steve. That's good. But yeah, I think it's like $5 for the 8-ounce bottle, and it's only a couple bucks for the triple pack. And the number 3 and the number 1 will last you for a very long time. Okay. Yeah, but if you buy just the singular bottles, right? Like I would buy the tri-pack, so you have all of them. A teeny bit of the 2 you won't use very often, and then you have the then just get like the $4, $5, $6 like 8-ounce bottle of the red one. This guy here, and you're kind of set. So okay, go back. I would like to kind of have the cleaning roundtable discussion at some point. And see what you guys think, because there's a bazillion different ways to clean a pinball machine, and some people think that I am a psychopath for rubbing Novus on the playfield because it's going to take all the artwork off. And again, there's a million different ways to clean a game, and it is opinion. In this show, I try to keep my opinion stated as an opinion, right? I don't like to give my opinion as fact, because that is really lame way to teach people. But in my opinion, Novus is a totally safe, perfectly fine cleaner. I use it on everything. You just have to be very careful when you're doing an older game, but it does a very good job at taking the dirt off. The kind of cleaning What's up?
I was going to say, PC Handyman asked, will it clean up after removing Mylar on a playfield? No. To remove the, well, I mean, yeah, that's what you'd want to use after you had gotten all the adhesive off. I don't like to take Mylar off games unless it's really, really, really bad. But when you do, I mean, if you do it right, generally you can get a lot of that adhesive to come off with the plastic if you heat it correctly. But generally, to get that kind of adhesive off, you need to use something with a little bit of a bite to it, you know? I like to use a very gentle, like, naphtha. Naphtha does the best job. Naphtha, I used to use lighter fluid because, fun fact, you can't buy naphtha in California for whatever reason.
but like Roncinol lighter fluid is basically the same thing, so be very careful, do it in a well-ventilated area. But that's the best to get like adhesive off safely. If you were to try to use like lacquer thinner or mineral spirits, generally that's like I wouldn't want to use that anywhere near something that has a finish or ink that could dissolve inks and finishes. So again, here's like a great pro tip. Before using any product on your pinball machine, right, don't go and get like a cloth full of naphtha and just rub it in the middle of your pinball machine and then be like, all mad at me because it screwed something up, right? Do it in somewhere discreet. You know, lift the apron, do it underneath some plastics or something like that. But in my experience, Roncinol or naphtha is very safe to use on these clear-coated pinball machines. Basically, any pinball machine after 1990 almost is a good starting point. It has a clear coat, so yeah.
Nice. So we did have a question.
Oh, go ahead.
Kyle's just on a roll. I didn't think you were going to talk this much about it.
No, I like
awesome.
talking about this stuff because there's a lot of bad information out there, and I don't know. I don't want to say I'm right, but I want to give my opinion on it. So,
Kirk Hobbs on Twitch asked a question that DeWisp already kind of helped them out with, but I'd love to get your expert opinion as well. If you were going to lube your spinners, what would you use? Is WD-40 an option or no?
No, don't use WD-40. WD-40 is not a lubricant like that. Super Lube is probably the best. It's like a small silicone-based lube that does a really good job of keeping spinners spinning. WD-40, it's weird because it is a lubricant, but it is like in the short term, right? WD-40 doesn't really have the properties to make to keep that lubrication around for a while, if that makes sense. I think we're getting some Super Lube in stock soon. It comes in a very small bottle with a very fine tip, and that's a good way to do it. Generally, I really don't lubricate my spinners much. I just clean them very well.
Thank you, Molly Hatchet.
I get some Novus on a cloth and just clean the shaft with Novus. It does a great job. And then you can put it in, and they usually spin pretty nice. But I don't know. There's nothing against lubricating spinners. It's fun on games where the spinner is a huge, important part of it, especially. So.
Nice. Yeah, and that's like the lengthy version of what DeWisp said. So we're all on the same page here, which is great.
Rely on Kyle to give you the longest, most obnoxious explanation.
No, it's good. We want your explanations. Lube it up. Yeah. So. Oh, Mofco said there's a video on Pinside that has a great cleaning guide. Post a link, please.
Yeah. Well, so here's the thing, and I know it's that guy. I forgot what his username is, but he's very smart, and he does post a lot of like good guides to follow. But you have to remember too, like everything is kind of based in someone's opinion, and he definitely has a lot of good opinions. But you have to remember, it's like that is not the only way to do something. Mm-hmm. And again, it's like, and Vid will say don't use Novus, I'm pretty sure. And that's fine. But, you know, I've been using Novus for a long time, and I've never had one single problem with it, like a lot of people claim to have. So there's a bazillion ways to clean a pinball machine. You choose which one you like best. I use Novus.
Look, Kyle's hands were getting antsy. Like idle hands, right? He's like, I just got to start tightening something. Yeah, but today Kyle's loosening things, right? Because he's wearing his loose flip. Oh, I get it. Loose flip shirt. Because he's loosening things today. Kyle, what are you doing today?
We're just going to take this thing apart. I spent a little while this morning making sure everything kind of worked. I safely was able to power the game on. And hold on one second, actually. Let's make this, I'm going to face my tools towards me because I'm going to need these more than the bench will. Okay. I spent some time this morning getting the game working, or making sure some things work. When you have the opportunity to be able to turn the game on, if it's safe before you do your initial teardown, it's nice to verify what works and what doesn't work before you, sorry, let me put the playfield in position. Before you take it apart, right? Because the worst feeling in the world is finishing a game, right? You've got it all apart, you clean it, it's all great, you put it all back together, and then you find out one, dumb thing in the back corner that you have to take everything back apart again to fix doesn't work. I had that problem with one of my friends locally here. He had me help him put his Bride of Pinbot head back together because I had just fixed the one for my customer a couple months ago. And we had to take the crown off like 3 or 4 times because every time we put it back together, something else wasn't working. We weren't thinking very straight, but that's a good, it's a good thing to pound into your head to like kind of verify what's going on before you take it apart. We verified that this game was safe to boot up, and I was able to go into the diagnostics and make sure that the motor for the turbo was working and the motor for the car in the little circle was working. Now at this point, there's not much else that's going to be scary. Everything else is basically underneath the game, so we can kind of just take it apart and get ready to clean.
Awesome.
Yes.
Let's do it.
So yeah, I guess this is a good episode to be like a Q&A. Let's chit chat. There's going to be a few unique things on this game that maybe later on people will find useful. But one thing I'm going to do and try to stress is before we take something off, like we're going to take a ramp off, try to figure out how and what is attached underneath the game before you go to actually physically remove the ramp. This can help in a situation where, if you took the ramp off, all the bolts and screws came off of the ramp, and then you had to flip the thing up to unplug all of the switches or lights or whatnot, you kind of got to support the ramp, right? Because it's going to want to fall off or it's going to want to, fall down, and ramps can be very delicate. Some ramps are very brittle at this point in their lives, and you don't want to tweak or do anything weird with them. So we will use our knowledge of colors for wires and stuff like that, in position of where they come up through the playfield to try to differentiate what is for a ramp versus something else. So we'll go over that a little bit. Nice. The first thing I'm going to take off, though, is definitely this spinning thing. So what we're going to do, or what I'm going to do, is take a look here. We've got these GI lights, general illumination lights, hooked up. Okay. I can see under here that the wires for the motor, and it looks like all of these lamps are attached into one harness. And ow. Don't hit your head on the sides of pinball machines.
Careful.
That's not
See,
fun.
if you were wearing your Marco hat, you would have protected your
That's true.
Skin.
I can feel down here, we've got like a motor driver board, and then there's a GI plug underneath. Let's switch to the handy cam. We're not going to be able to see much because it is kind of dark inside the game, but... So what I felt was the motor for that spinny guy is plugged in right here onto this board, and then all of the lamps for the general illumination are plugged right here. We can tell, if any of y'all remember, general illumination is generally 2 different kinds of wires. So you've got, 2 similar versions of the same wire. You've got a white with a stripe and then a solid wire. So we've got white orange and an orange wire. That is for the general illumination above the playfield. That is attached to that motor thing. So we will take this off, and now all we have to do is disconnect the assembly and take it out. We'll do the same thing for the ramps once we get there. So.
Nice. Oops.
It's just, I've been in many situations where when I was new at this and I forgot to unplug something, or even now when I forget or I don't notice something that was plugged in. It just can be so awkward to hold the ramp while you're trying to, disassemble the game. Trying to find my stubby nut driver. Here it is. Wait, no, it's not. That's the longer. Is this it? Yay.
So everyone in the chat, while Kyle's looking for his tools. Oh, he found it. But still, what's your next cleaning project? Oh. What pinball machine are you working on next that you're going to have to do this shop out to? Pulling everything off so you can clean it up and put it back together. Champion Pub. Oh, nice.
Oh, that one's not fun to do.
Oh, because you got the dude?
No, it's just there's a lot. That's a very annoying, difficult game to service.
But good luck. Oh, Black Cat Pinball 1 Congo. I love that game.
That game's
General Clean on a Hobbit. Kirk Hobbs. Also, definitely one of my top
The
10s.
Hobbit is another game that's pretty dang hard to work on.
Is it?
Yeah. I don't know. It's not the worst though.
Ooh, Pez is doing an Old Chicago.
That's cool. I love old Chicago.
PC Handyman, A Swords of Fury. Nice.
That game's fun to work on, but the drop targets are a pain. The drop targets,
sure.
They're not on a harness, so you have to, I don't know. Every time I've had to work on the drop targets, I've always created a harness for the drop targets to be removed out of.
Oh, interesting.
It's been so long since I've taken this thing out. Oh, no. You know what?
No, Pin Daddy's working on a jukebox.
I think there might be a broken or a snapped off screw.
Oh,
That's
no.
annoying. Let me verify.
Dang, Molly Hatchet, Flight 2000. Don't you have a Flight 2000 there at the studio?
No.
No.
I used to have a Flight 2000. I loved that game. It's one of the best.
I felt like I've seen one recently. PC Handyman, Nexus High Speed. Oof.
This sucks.
DeWisp just lists a whole bunch of Data East Star Wars. Harley Davidson. I love that game too. I love the little ball save thing. I know,
On
I'm
Harley?
cheesy like that. Yeah.
I like
That makes
Bally
your
Harley
game, your
Davidson.
1 quarter, like if that's on location, your quarter will last for centuries because of that little pop-up ball save. Gottlieb Excalibur. Wow.
Oh, I
And
love
then
that
Data
game.
East Turtles. Display started acting up. Oh no.
We've got replacement LEDs for those, displays for those things.
Yeah.
They're
Switch
great.
out with a pin score. It's super easy plug and play.
I'm going to have
And don't
to
forget to use your free shipping code.
do something I
Hey,
don't
Wes,
like
you're
doing to
domestic,
get
right?
this out. So,
M. Kunis man still working on taking an Attack from Mars apart and a Fathom. Oh, that was MSO Pinhead Fathom. Wow, all you guys are working on such great games.
yeah, who's working on crap games like me, like INDY500? No, I'm just kidding.
I personally love INDY500. Man, that's a good game.
I do too. I'm not liking this one now.
Yeah, so explain to us what you're struggling over here with.
There's this thing's held on. This thing's got a bracket. That we've got a. This is the back box, the back plane of the back box. This thing, the spinny car guy, is attached with something that's kind of shaped like an H, so it goes over it like this. And on one side, it has nuts welded onto the plate, so the screws that go in through this side go into a nut, which is great. Except one of them is broken. So one of them has a screw going through the back pane of the back box, or the back panel of the game, and it's stuck. So easily I should be able to get in here and extract it from the front, but since this thing sits over it almost a foot, I can't really get in there. The next step would be, well, let's take the ramps off, and I might be able to. No, I can't, because the case of the motor sticks in below this. So this is just a giant pain in the butt. We're going to have to really finagle it and really try to figure out the best way to do it. What we might need to do... This sucks. We're going to have to get the ramp loose. Maybe we'll take off things in front of the ramp, because what we might need to do is remove the actual back pane, the back part that attaches and butts up to the back of the playfield, right? Because that will allow me to remove this entire assembly. Unfortunately, actually, I might be able to get to it from the side. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to remove the turbo. We're going to remove and loosen up the ramp so we can slide it forward, and then we can struggle with this back pane. It looks like
Seems like a good solution.
Yeah.
Daniel suggested maybe just drill the screw, get it over with.
But the problem is I can extract it from here. I don't want to have to retap this bracket or something. It'll be easy to take the back pane off. It's just a matter of getting to the hardware. And I think I'd rather do it the long way than try to just get it over with, just because it can cause more work on the back end. So
You like that, Colin? No one can hear. I do need to pull more sounds.
you need to do like a
sounds.
you need
From
to do like
pin
a car
sounds.
crashing.
You can't
sound.
hear my sounds. You can't hear my sounds, Kyle.
No, I
But they're
can't.
there.
Oh God.
I always
see.
forget about them.
This is going to be the bane of my existence. I can tell.
Don't break it.
Gonna have to.
And for those who don't know INDY500 too well, like DeWisp's never even seen one in person. Can you explain what that UFO thing is up there that you're trying to actually get off?
There's a car here. Let's
Yeah, see the cars blocking it? Yep, there you go.
So this car will spin around, and since it's a
So cute.
motor that spins pretty quick, it actually kind of acts as a semi-shaker motor, which is kind of fun. So what we're going to do is we're going to get this piece off here. We've got an optical switch on the bracket, so we're going to flip the game up, and we're going to figure out which wire that is to unplug. I saw that there was a black and orange wire. I see some black and orange wires coming up right through here. I'm going to unplug this guy. I'm going to, I think that's actually probably it. So we'll probably be good. Let's double check. But see what I mean? We want to unplug these things before we remove the assemblies. Let's see. It's been a long time since I've taken one of these apart all the way. Also, this is a pretty uncommon game. It's not odd that you haven't seen one. This was in like the big downturn in pinball. In the 90s, you know, in the beginning of the 90s, they made a lot of pinball machines. And at this point, you know, you had a good run if you were making 9,000 games. Or not 9,000, like 2,000, 3,000 games. So a lot of those games that we love and we cherish so dearly were just not, they didn't sell in big numbers. But Williams
You got to go to the pinball shows soon to be able to play one. One day, the pinball shows will come back. That's where you get to play all the cool games that
Yes.
are super rare and that hard, oh, maybe not as much rare as just hard to find in the wild on location.
Yeah, that's like that's the
Kyle-
problem nowadays. Is so many of those games that are uncommon, they're like just stuffed into collectors' basements, so you never see them anymore.
Yeah, Danielle, my moo actually is from Fire. That's hilarious that you knew which moo that was from. Wow.
Well, Daniel has fire, I think.
Oh, wait, I have two moos. How's that moo?
We've got a broken weld here.
Oh, no. Kyle, you know how you said everyone's hitting on you today?
Uh-oh.
I think it's how he did his hair or something. CNK is saying, hi, beautiful.
Oh, hey. Maybe we'll
Do you
use
have
some...
a 7-digit display glass?
Do I?
The pin scores? Yeah.
No.
Right?
A display glass. So like probably
the glass over
the
it?
actual plasma display. I have a couple, but you'll have to pry them out of my hands. Or give me enough delicious beer that I maybe will let them go. Let's see.
Well, there you go. CNK. He likes imported beer from Germany.
Or just good beer.
And Miller Lite. For some reason, he really likes Miller Lite.
No, I like Miller High Life.
Oh,
The
sorry.
champagne of beers.
Oh, yeah. Champagne or something.
Champagne. I'm also very partial to Yingling because it's delicious. And I think it's only delicious because I've never had it until I moved to the East Coast. So
Their specialty. Another reason why you should move to South Carolina and work for Marco Pinball.
there's a lot of good beer here, actually, in South Carolina.
Beer is very important to the southeast region of the United States of America.
Yeah. Unfortunately, a lot of the beer they like here is hard to call beer sometimes, but, you know, people like Miller Lite for some reason. Let's see. We're going to use our number 1 screwdriver. Let's see. Can I move this? Kind of. We're going to use our number 1 screwdriver to remove the ramp. The ramp entrance screws are number 4 by 1/2 inch wood screws. These are handy to have around because a lot of times people will destroy these trying to take them out with like the incorrect size screwdriver. And then they'll shove drywall screws and stuff in here. So a lot of repairs need to happen on ramp entrances. A number 1 screwdriver, in case you don't know, is just a much finer tip, much smaller than a number 2, which is this one here. So let's see. Got another screw here holding it on. I'm gonna try to see if I can just get this thing to come forward a little bit. These are the joys of working on a game that have not been worked on in a long time. You'll see there's games you can get that have been routed for a long time, right? I'd much rather, almost 100% of the time, I'd rather have a game that's lived a life on location and taken care of by an operator. Some operators. Some of them are worse and lazier than others, right? But I'd rather have one that's taken care of to continue working instead of have a game like this that someone got rid of because it stopped working. I can totally tell this game was someone put a brand new coil into this upper flipper, if y'all remember, but the linkage was just so shot you couldn't get the flipper to work right, and that was probably the last straw with this game, and that's why whoever owned it before decided to get rid of it.
That's a shame.
No, it's good because now we can bring it back to life.
Oh, yeah, but also just getting rid of a pinball machine because it doesn't work versus fixing it. Say if you can't afford someone to fix it, but you can fix it yourself because you've watched Kyle for over a year work on pinball machines.
Well, we shouldn't get rid of our games, but that is a way I've gotten a lot of my games, is people just, you know what, it's like the last straw. They don't want to fix it anymore. It was never taken care of well. That is a cool shot.
That is a really cool shot. Kyle, we have a question from Mellowed Muscle on Twitch. Yo. What do you do for rusty ramp flaps?
It depends on the condition. If they're really bad, first what I'll do generally is I'll take the ramp out. If I'm just trying to save it and present it to look better, it depends on the level of work, right? But I'll take the ramp out, put some blue painter's tape around the entrance of the ramp on the plastic, right? And then what you can do is get some, I like to use my purple Scotch pad. I'll use a brand new one, right? Like one of these guys. They're abrasive. They're abrasive enough to remove the rust. And use it and always sand in the direction. Let me stand back in the light. You want to sand in the direction that the ball is going, right? So instead of sanding it side to side, which would look unnatural, you want to sand it up and down, hence the blue tape. Try to get as much of it off, and then what you can do is, what I'll generally do is get you can get gun bluing paste. Bluing is what they do to get that like kind of dark gunmetal finish onto a gun, right? And they sell it in a couple forms where you could actually brush it onto bare metal to give it a dye job, basically. You can get it in two ways. You could get it liquid, or you could get it in a paste. I 100% recommend getting it as a paste because the liquid is runny, and that way you can put color back into the flap once you sand all of the rust off. That is a good way to do it. It won't hold color forever, like the ramp flaps in the game would, because those are heat treated. That's how it happens. The other way to do it is to buy a piece of spring steel that we sell, very gently drill out the rivets of your old one, and cut a new one. It's hard, but that is the best way to make a new flap. I hate doing it, but the results are worth it, all the time you spend doing it.
Can we do an episode on that one day?
No.
Both ways? No? He said no. I didn't even get to finish my sentence, and he said no.
We can give it a shot sometime. I mean, I wouldn't. It would be fun. It is a lot of work. It's difficult, right? Because part of getting those flaps in is creating the holes for the rivets to attach them to the ramp, and also the holes to attach the ramp back through the playfield. And it's very difficult to cut metal with a drill in the center without creating a divot or bending or folding the ramp somehow. So I'm not a super talented metal worker, but I have a few techniques like using, like creating a punch hole and then using like scraping bits to do it. It will maybe one day. I don't want to promise that because I don't like doing it, but it would be good to do it with people on the internet so we can kind of figure out and document it. The paste thing is generally good enough, the bluing paste. It'll work in a pinch. This sucks. I can't get the ramp out because the one piece of hardware I need to get to is back here. Let's see. But yeah, that's how I'd approach it at least.
That was a great answer. I hope that helps, Mellowed Muzzle.
So one of my pet projects that I really do want to spend more time working on is we're trying to find someone. We do know somebody, and I need to contact them to get it done. But find someone who would be able to cut those out of raw spring steel, which we can get, and be able to make them using a water jet. That's probably the best way to do it. It's
cool.
very, very difficult to cut those things because they are so flimsy. We have a local person or a local group that does laser cutting, and you can't cut that with a laser because, like, I guess the way lasers work is they need to be like sprayed with like gas and oxygen and whatever. And what happens is that thin stuff flutters, so the laser can't make a good clean cut. And if you try to stack them, the laser melts them all together. So it's, I think these things were die cut, so they would create a tool that would kind of come down like a big cookie cutter and go and cut it out, and it would have clean edges. Maybe they need to be sanded a little bit, but anyways, that's what we have to do every day is kind of reverse engineer how all this stuff's put together. If I'm lucky, I might be able to get to it from this side. I'm going to get an assortment of skinny plier things, and I'm going to see if I could just reach in there and turn it.
Are you feeling lucky, huh?
No.
Oh.
I should have looked at this before we started, but how could I have known?
No, this is great because this might happen to someone else's INDY500 that comes across our archives on YouTube. And then seeing how you solved this problem perhaps will help them solve their problem too, getting off this enormous mech.
The ramp, the motor is just a little too fat, so I can't get my finger far enough this way. And then there's a switch.
Can you give us the C920 shot?
Yeah, sorry.
So we can see what you're reaching under? Because that's confusing. It's like, what is he touching under there?
But pinball repair is not very straightforward. So I'm glad that we're kind of running into an issue. Switch the cameras really quick so I can see what we're looking at.
Oh yeah, let me make this wide. The big one.
I still think the best plan is for me to take off the back plane. I don't want to sit here and struggle with this for too long because I don't think I'll be successful.
It's so dirty.
I can't get this ramp.
Look at all the balloons though. Okay. Oh, there we go. Yeah.
So
I know. Sorry. You have not the best tools for this, but this is awesome. This is great.
There's one screw that's just way too long that's sticking through, and I can't get past this switch. You see this bracket for the switch here? All the hardware to remove that is on the other side. I can't remove the actual bracket because the screws are underneath this damn thing. This is
Wash
why
his mouth out with soap.
This is another reason why people stopped putting pinball into arcades, because they're just so hard to fix. When these kinds of things happen, it's annoying. And that's why a lot of companies did try to simplify their games a little bit later on. I guess that's not true. Look at Capcom and like Airborne or something. That's like the most complicated game ever. I'm going to try to remove the screws holding the back plane on.
Right?
This thing is held on via... The back planes have like an L bracket, so one side of the bracket is screwed into the playfield, the other side is attached to the actual back plane. So we're going to try just removing these screws here. I think we have enough wiggle room with the ramps now where I can do that, and we'll just yank it off.
Oh, I missed a YouTube comment. Parker Slutsky. It would be great if you sold them for every game. I would buy a few.
Yeah,
Dang.
no, I know that. And the thing is we have samples of almost every single one for every single Williams game. We definitely have samples for almost every Stern game. Something just made a noise I didn't like. Let's see.
IndyPin said, some of the bulb lenses inset into the board of my old 4-square machine have become recessed to impede the normal travel of the ball, even holding it sometimes. I was thinking some Novus 2 or 3 maybe, but not sure.
No, if the inserts are sunken in like that, there's not much you can do without doing like some major surgery to the game.
They're supposed to be flat, but they aren't at the edges anymore.
Yeah, that's very common. What I would recommend is either try increasing the pitch of the playfield or giving it a good coat of wax. That can be really, really helpful in that situation. Just try to keep the ball from being able to stop there. You know what I mean?
So you put the wax over the inserts too?
Yeah, you know, like waxing a car, kind of. So you're going to be just cleaning the playfield and then applying like a thin coat of wax to make the ball a little more slick, so it won't be able to get stuck on there. Because here's your other option: is you would have to. Oh, you son of a gun! Hold on.
Oh.
Is this longer? No, it's kind of shorter. Oh man, this thing is making me grumpy. Your other option would be to remove the inserts. And doing that, if you do one on a 50-year-old Gottlieb game, you're going to take out all those inserts that are very uniformly yellowed and lovely. And then you would install a new insert, which would be like very bright white, and it just wouldn't look right. And then you'd want to do all of them, and that takes a lot of work. It's kind of like, I don't know. To me, those sorts of things are very annoying, but I try to work around them as much as I can instead of like actually tackling it and putting a new insert in or something like that. It just ends up being more work than it's worth doing. Not that your game's not worth anything.
Carnauba Wax. What kind of wax do you recommend?
Yeah, that's what I like
Crystal,
to use.
Yep. Daniel, everyone's saying Carnauba Wax. Crystal said the butter kind, not the liquid or paste. Indy Pins asked, that's a car wax, isn't it?
Yeah.
Pinballs are like cars, right?
A good car wax. And you're probably not going to be able to find it at a car store. A lot of car stores, they sell what's called a cleaner wax. And a cleaner wax has some, like, again, not the biggest deal in the world, but they have some very light abrasives to them to get impurities out of car paint. You can just get pure Carnauba wax, but you might have to order it from a specialty shop or online or something. I don't think there's nothing wrong with using paste wax. You just need to not slop it around. That's going to be your goal, is to not make a big mess out of it. Although I do prefer using like the tins of wax that are full of like the goop as opposed to a squirt bottle. If you do use a squirt bottle, just be very careful and you don't gum up your posts and stuff like that.
Vernicious, we're just talking about what kind of wax to clean or to wax your playfield with after cleaning it.
Yeah, I don't honestly.
He said
I don't
he
really
sorry
like
blinked
waxing.
out for a second. It's like, what are we doing with wax again?
I don't really like waxing games much because sometimes it makes
I do
them
that
play
all the time.
Like too fast. It's like too extra.
Fast, yeah.
But I don't know. Sometimes it's good. I always keep TNA really waxed up, or to keep it slick, just because I like how much it frustrates people when the ball is like zipping around.
You put like the back legs on bricks, the tilt or the incline is super high.
10 degrees of pitch. Okay, what I'm doing now is I'm taking out the long wood screws that attach the back plane to the bottom or the back of the play field. So once I get this last one, I'm going to need to kind of hold it and then so it doesn't go crashing into the back of the play field. So I'm going to put one arm. Things are falling.
Oh yeah, I saw the ramp kind of go that.
Yeah, because it's loose, right? So I had to loosen it all the way to get to the back, but it's still being held on kind of by the back panel. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just holding on to that car in the track mechanism, and I'm holding up. I'm going to get this screw out.
Oh, that's a nice point. Pin Daddy said, need to avoid automotive waxes on old EM games that have no clear coat.
Yeah. Yeah, you do want to be aware of that. Electromechanical games do have clear coats. But they're not, actually, let me rephrase that. They don't have clear coats, but they were covered in a varnish. A varnish that is kind of why those games do sort of turn yellow-ish.
Oh, I never thought of that.
But a lot of that varnish is gone. So you do need to be careful about what you're putting onto those games, because you are essentially putting something straight onto wood at that point. What else is attached to this dang thing? Or is there like one screw exactly right under something that I can't get to? And I should have just listened to Daniel and taken the... Oh, you've got to be kidding me.
What is it?
Oh, I'm done with this. Let's go home.
No. All right, we're stopping the stream.
The ball guide. The ball guide is screwed straight to the back panel, which isn't super uncommon, but it uses a ton of screws, and there's no way I can get the big ball guide off easy. What I'm thinking is maybe I have enough room now between having the ramp loose and having this thing moving like 1 or 2 degrees for me to be able to get my fingers on it. So. This is why hourly pinball repair exists, because there's no easy way to do this.
Yeah. Indie Pins, I think everyone, all our awesome people, helped you figure out your questions.
I hope so. The insert thing's hard, man. That's like...
Yeah, MLZ Pinhead suggested maybe doing a playfield protector. DeWisp suggested maybe able to cut Mylar to the insert shape and then use it to fill the gap, depending on how bad the recess is.
That's the best way to address it.
Everyone's giving them lots of good suggestions, yeah.
If nothing else works, really wax that area and then stick Mylar on top of it. Sticking Mylar on top of it will, fill up that gap that exists with the cupped insert, and the wax will help you be able to peel that Mylar off if necessary. I have used like a clear silicone varnish sort of thing, kind of like an epoxy to fill up cupped inserts on very old games before. These are like, games from the 40s and stuff like that, where there's no way you're going to replace those inserts.
Right.
Okay, now I'm starting to think of backup plans, and maybe I'm doing this like all wrong. I wonder, how is this attached to this? Is there hardware underneath? Or is it held in with these screws? I'm wondering if we could take the platter off. It looks like it might be welded to the frame of the motor, though. Oh, this is enraging. Let me see, maybe I could have some hemostats that I could try to grab onto that screw with. We're really digging into the tools that I don't use very often. I've probably taken these hemostats out of my toolbox because it's like, oh, I'm never going to use those.
Did you get a chance to see the slow-mo guys pinball video?
Yes, I thought that was super cool.
We'll play at the end of today's episode the flipper rubbers moving, because I thought that was the most fascinating part. I never really thought about flipper rubbers like actual rubber jiggling off the flipper.
And flopping around like that. The thing that really tripped me out the most was watching how much the ball actually jumps at the slingshot. Watching how much the ball actually spins like in the air instead of just gliding around a lot of places. It's actually hopping around so much. And people wonder why playfields get dimples in them. Because the ball is jumping all over the place. All right.
Yeah,
I can't really get a great grasp on this thing. And
we should have named this episode taking off the, what is this, the turbo motor of INDY500? And it just be a whole episode about how to take off the tricky turbo motor.
This is so bad. I'm trying to think of every possible way I could do this right now. I might be able to get this thing off, which might allow me to bring the ramp underneath. Let's try that. Here's take 100. You got to get crafty sometimes when you're doing this sort of stuff. We're going to try taking this wire form off that exists from here backwards. If I can kind of sneak that out, I might be able to angle the ramp down and yank it out like that. Let's see what we can do.
Sure. Hey, loose flip. Oh, wait. Let me go back to Kyle Cam. Flex, Kyle. Give loose flip a nice flex.
Hi, Andy. Thank you for the shirt.
It's a beautiful shirt.
It's red.
Oh, wait. Show the back. Let's all do a loose flip promo. Yeah. It's got the Dragon Ball Z dragon on there. Yeah, everyone check out Loose Flip on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch. They are from Germany and do awesome pinball streaming.
Yep, and it helps me work on my German language skills that I constantly lose listening to them speak German. So, okay. Wire form, get out of here. Let's put this over here with the other ramp.
Yay, so you got a piece off.
Yeah, I think this is probably the easiest way to do it at this point. I was trying to just go DEFCON and remove it all at once, but now that that thing is wrapped around or attached to the back plane, there's just no way I'm going to be able to get it out. So now we're going to struggle and see. Okay, so the ramp goes into the back plane a little bit in like a centering tab. So let's see.
Thank you, Mofko, for posting that link to Mylar. We believe in you, Indie Pins.
Mylar is great. People.
So yeah, we also did if you look at one of our earlier episodes where, correct me if I'm wrong, Kyle cut pieces of Mylar for his pop bumper rings. Like he had the Mylar for the pop bumper rings and cut some pieces up for it to fit on roller games.
Yep.
So we have stuff like that and just like little sheets of Mylar. So he's thinking of using the Mylar to kind of cut the piece and put it in the insert. So
Give it a
rolls
shot.
Easier.
It might work out. You don't need much, but
that's a cool shot.
Depending on what you like or how you like your game to play, again, try increasing the pitch a bit. If the old flippers are strong enough to get it around. I'm so afraid of breaking this ramp.
Do not break this ramp. Oh my gosh.
What I need to do is the small camera on? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so right here, right there, where is it? Where's the back plane? I'm going to knock everything over. There's a small tab of where the ramp goes into the back plane. So what I'm having to do is I'm trying to force this out. So I can lower the ramp, right, bring it closer towards the playfield, but get it around this, the case of the motor. Sorry, I'm giving everyone nausea. This case of the motor is butted straight up against the ramp. So there's not a lot of, I can't move the ramp this way. So I need to remove this, drop it down, and then bring it up and out. And I think I'm almost there. I'm going to get the camera off the playfield so I can really start wiggling it. This turned into such a fun episode, right, everybody?
So we might be behind an episode.
Yeah, we really might.
Disassembling.
That's why I said it's so hard.
Well, but I mean, after you get off this part, all the other things you have to take off the playfield to get it ready to be cleaned is fairly easy, right? Just some more ramps and plastics and...
Oh my gosh. Yeah, kind of. It's a lot of work. This thing is beat, so there's a lot of stuff to do to this game.
Yeah, Per Monson says just remove the race car assembly.
Yeah, I wish. Unfortunately, it's stuck. Due to a stuck screw that is going through the back plane. We might... Oh man, I don't know how we're going to do this. I might just need to drill it out.
Yeah, about an hour ago, Daniel said, hey, drill it out from Croatia.
Yeah, I know. Unless...
He's like,
wait, maybe I can... Okay, hold on.
yeah.
Here's the next idea so we don't break the ramp.
Yeah.
Let's try this. We're going to take the slowest route, and we're going to try and see that if I unscrew the motor case, if that actually drops the motor off of the assembly.
It's a good problem-solving tactics. It's a problem-solving show.
Yeah,
this is pinball in all its glory.
I mean, these things are old now, right? There is a lot of... you do have to... You run into these problems, right? Hey, okay, so here's a fun problem, right? We have a brand new, never taken out of the box, Dale Jr. edition of NASCAR. In Europe, the game is called Grand Prix. But we have this brand new Dale Jr. It's been in a box for 14 years. There were 2006 newspapers in the box when I was taking it out. And the game's gorgeous. I took it out to make sure that the batteries weren't leaking. We're going to set it up and stream it soon. But what we found was that, you know, even though it's been in a climate-controlled, you know, garage and a box, everything, it's still rusty. A lot of the plungers are rusty.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
So now this game, right, it's old. It's older than that. And this thing's been around. You know, the hardware is going bad. And it's getting rusty and crusty and weak. And anyways.
That's not good. Wasn't that the whole thing with Tim Showalter's buying your first pinball machine? If you don't want any wear and tear on a pinball machine, then leave it in the box.
That's
but
true.
it can still get rusty and wear...
I guess
when it's in the box.
If you kept it in like a perfect climate-controlled bubble, then it would never get rusty. But, yep, it's still rusted.
How? I don't understand. Science is hard. That's unfortunate.
But it is perfect, and it's going to be really fun to play a brand new 14-year-old pinball machine. So I'm looking forward to that.
That is cool.
If I can get motivated, maybe we'll do that on stream tomorrow. Y'all wanted to come hang out. I'm going to see, I think that this motor, the shaft might also be attached to this, so we're going to unpin the car from the shaft. This might have been the easiest way to do it, but without getting all of that wiggle room with the back panel, I don't think I would have seen that this thing attached the way it did. So, got a little race car. Race car on a stick.
Nice. Bye.
It's kind of a cool model. It says Bally on it. Whoa. I wonder, is there any Hot Wheels experts in here? Was this like an actual car, or? It's
they
not
made
a Hot
it for
Wheels
the game.
Car. I guess so. That's what they spent the money for the budget on this game was, oh, we got to get a custom car made for this thing.
That's a good point, Blue Continental, Crystal. This is also why when you buy parts, you should take them out and inspect them immediately. Yeah. Oh, yeah, do it. Humidity inside the box, condensation. Ugh.
Yeah, that's definitely what did it.
Don't you hate condensation?
The thing is, even though, again, it was, okay, we are in the South, but it was in a climate-controlled, you know, space and everything like that, so it's, you just can't beat nature, I guess. This is going to take a long time. I'm getting like 1/4 of a turn each time I get the wrench onto the head. But
so now you all know what to do. If you ever run into this problem where you can't get an INDY500
I hope
disc
no
off.
one ever has to do this ever again. This is torture. But yeah, sometimes you got to do things the long and hard way to get things apart. We tried to do it the long way by going with the back panel, but I guess I should have noticed with the ball guides being attached to the back panel. But
yeah, and just a reminder for everyone again. When you're doing when you're doing disassemblies like this, always take pictures. You know, like before Kyle pulled off that car and everything, take a picture. After you pull it off, take a picture. That way, if there's any little type of pieces, you want to make sure you don't flop them when you put them back in. We trust Kyle's judgment that the car won't be upside down when he reinstalls it. But
this one you kind of can't install wrong because the shaft has a flat spot for the set screw to go. But the one thing, I don't take a ton of pictures when I take games apart, but you do. One thing that is important is if you ever have second guesses or doubts about hardware, take photos of what screws and what posts are coming out of where.
Yeah.
There are
they all
instances.
start looking the same.
What's up?
So they all start looking the same after a while.
Yeah, and some places might use a longer screw than another, but they both kind of work in that they're both same positions. I don't know. Okay, this is going to take forever, but eventually we're going to have success. If we can at least get this thing off on this 2-hour live stream, we're doing good. This is the frustrating thing, right? And this is why I don't like to do shop out sort of jobs in a customer's house. I would not want to do this in someone's living room, right?
You need your privacy.
I don't even want to do it in here, right? I'd rather be in like a fully stocked shop because maybe I would have a tool I don't carry in my toolbox, available or something. I'd have more drills and stuff like that. We're slowly turning this studio into a shop also, so.
Did you know that fingers is a bad word on Twitch?
Really?
Mm-hmm. Hey, learn something new every day. Fingers.
But us also saying, I mean, I guess pinball's mostly innuendo. Oh, hey now. Hold on.
Don't let it drop.
We've got the screw is extremely oily. I'm going to run off camera and get a paper towel to put underneath this motor because it might be full of oil.
So Daniel, watch your fingers. You have a warning sticker. That comment was flagged, and I had to unflag it.
All right.
And it said, add permitted term, fingers.
Fingers.
Oh. Never mind. It's fingers spew was the whole term. That was. So anyways, Kyle's getting oil off the disc.
Kyle's creating very compelling content here.
Yeah, the Elvira game is one big innuendo.
A lot of pinball's one big innuendo, and I was just always too young to understand it. You start playing a lot of these games and now, and you're like, huh, oh, okay. Bride of Pinbot being one of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I think this one's gonna
Mr. Cleanhead said my Dracula motor on Monster Bash original is leaking. Is that common?
No. It sounds like
Kinda
it might be cracked.
Kind of like your motor's leaking right now too.
Yeah.
Not common.
So what happened? I mean, there's grease in there, right? And when grease starts to separate, the oils kind of leak out. I mean, if yours is leaking and you're not like unscrewing it from something, I'd be a little concerned. Maybe it's got a crack in it. Maybe a bolt fell out or something.
Mm.
Take a look-see.
It's time for some.
that tightening it? Yeah, that's tightening it. I need to go this way. I hope this takes this thing off.
Name that symbol.
What symbol?
On my coffee.
What are you drinking? What kind of coffee?
Great value French roast.
Great.
Keurig pot.
What a great value.
If you drink coffee like water, you got to get the cheapest stuff. Otherwise, you're too broke to play pinball.
What if you drink just a little bit less coffee, but you get the better stuff? Maybe it's a little more, it's like high octane coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
But then sometimes quantity over quality is better. Like
with
candy.
Ice cream.
Ice cream?
No, maybe not.
No,
actually.
I would do quality over quantity with ice cream.
And of course, there's one screw that just doesn't want to...
I don't think Kyle's a coffee drinker.
What?
Pez is like, drink less of the better stuff. Does Kyle know how coffee works? I want it all.
I drink a lot of coffee, but I'm a coffee snob, so I'd rather only drink good coffee than crummy coffee.
Hey man, I didn't say it was like Dunkin' Donuts Keurig pots.
Dunkin'
Still
Donuts
French roast
is okay. That's what I like whenever you're in town and we go to Dunkin' Donuts. That's always fun.
From Dunkin' Donuts is good. The Dunkin' Donuts little Keurig pots, nah, pods. I keep calling them pots because,
If you come to work at Marco's Specialties, we all run on coffee. There is constant coffee.
Oh yeah, we have a great big coffee. We have a kitchen. It's a nice kitchen and it has a coffee maker and someone's always making fresh coffee. Just bring your own creamer.
We have a big
put it in the
grinder
giant
now.
fridge.
So we have like good coffee and we grind it and it's delicious. Oh my gosh, This is taking forever. What do these people
Yeah, now that while Kyle still works on this mech and we have more people on the stream than we did earlier today when we were making announcements, we are looking to hire another Marco team member. Pinball experience is required, ideally. If you have an awesome resume, please send it over to us at careers@marcospec.com. You do need to move to South Carolina if you get the job. But it is a career position, so benefits included. Maybe depending on your expertise, we can help make your move to South Carolina easier if you don't already live in this area. But yeah, we need another person to join our family. We're growing and we want to grow bigger and better, keeping pinball alive. So that sounds like something you want to do, working in the pinball industry. Send us an email.
It's not
with
a
your
bad
resume.
industry to be in.
Yeah, that's how we found Kyle. And Crystal, who is Blue Continental in the chat. Crystal was from Chicago, Kyle was from San Francisco, and now they both live in Columbia, South Carolina, and are help growing the Columbia, South Carolina community as well. There's a lot of great places you can play pinball in Columbia. So especially if you live in a town that only has like one arcade or maybe zero, you have to drive a few hours. When you come to Columbia, there's like at least 3 to 4 places that are really awesome that you can play pinball on.
We have 3 places to play pinball now, which is cool, but like 3 big places to play pinball.
Yeah, but there's lots of other places that have like maybe, a couple games. Discredit them. I'd still put them on Pinball Map.
Yeah, no, actually, no, we do. I can't. There's a restaurant now that has like 5 brand new newish Stern games. There are the 2 the arcade bar restaurant places. We've got Bangback, run by Fred Richardson, a champion pinball player.
Funky Fresh.
And then we have another one called Transmission Arcade, which is cute and full of, it's not just pinball, but there is pinball and video games and That's downtown, and that's pretty cool. There's another kind of bar that does like cheap food and cheap drinks, and I haven't been there since COVID, but they did have an Iron Maiden and what was the other game? Game of Thrones, that was in there. There's places to play.
Watching you talk to us with your back to us on our camera is like looking at Cousin It. We should have put little googly eyes on the back of your head, so it'd be like.
Yeah, my hair's weird. I know.
Okay, we have a question from the chat.
Thank goodness.
Let me remind everyone that go ahead and put your questions in the chat while Kyle works on this. It doesn't have to be INDY500 related. Ideally, it's pinball related. But if you have any pinball repair questions, we have Kyle on the stage right now live. Let's ask. And with that, Sagwedo on Twitch asked, I have oh gosh, what did I do?
A what?
I have a WCS 94 dog soccer.
Dog soccer.
Yay. That has been playing without problem for months. Last night, I played 15 minutes and it restarted seemingly randomly 4 times. Now I'm afraid to use it. Any ideas? That's what happened to my hard body.
Don't be afraid to use it, but you're probably not going to be able to play it much. That's a very common problem on those Williams games of that era.
Wait, am I tightening this thing? No. Wait, yes. Oh, man.
Maybe we shouldn't be asking Kyle questions
No, you
right
should.
now.
That's kind of a question that I don't think I'm not going to be able to answer all the way, but if you go search the WPC reset issue, it is very, 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 very well documented. The easiest way, if you wanted to get back to playing pinball like this weekend, you could go on our website and order the WPC reset monitor fix thing, which we did feature as a product a couple weeks ago. What's happening though is your game is losing, the 5 volts is running low, and when the 5 volt section runs low, the computer will reset or turn off to protect itself. So that's very common on those old games.
Send a link to that reset monitor, will you? I'm on the last screw.
How does WCS 94 translate to dog soccer? But I responded in the chat.
Well, here's the real answer. It's just called dog soccer. Everyone needs to call it dog soccer. There are so many games called soccer or World Cup soccer. I think there's 3 games called World Cup soccer. No, the Gottlieb is called World Challenge Soccer. But since it's got the dog on it, it's just dog soccer, man.
Because it has the dog on it.
I'm going to force people to enjoy or to use that
phrase because it's great.
It's got the dog on it.
That's a fun game. I do like dog soccer.
Who wins this fight, Kyle or Turbo? Definitely Turbo.
Yeah, I've lost. This is like
Taking on fuel and fresh tires.
This is embarrassing, but this is the way we got to do it.
Almost.
Without damaging it, right? I was almost thinking of prying the bracket wide and spreading it open, but that's just not the chill way to do this, so. Don't want to damage things. I'd rather make it take 2 hours than to screw it up super bad.
Oh, TurboGrafx is here. Hello.
Whoa. Welcome to the most boring pinball repair stream we've ever done. Kyle versus
we're in the Q&A session of our stream, so if you guys have any questions for Kyle while he battles the INDY500. This episode was all about disassembling an INDY500 to get it ready to be cleaned, which is what we're doing next week. It'll be a whole fun cleaning episode where we watch Kyle wax on, wax off. I don't know. Are you going to wax the game?
Kyle's going to...
Novus on, Novus off, or something?
No, I'm gonna lighter fluid and match this game. I'm done with this thing. We're not working on INDY500 anymore. It's over.
Look, you got the motor off.
Yeah.
You got the ramp off. Does that mean you win?
No, there's no way to come back from this. This is a defeat. But at least I've separated things, and I can see why or what I did to snap this ramp. Let's see.
You snapped the ramp?
So it's 2 pieces, but here, I can show what happened.
Oh.
The ramp is 2 pieces. It's joined here in the center. But what happened is one of the... Oh, hold on. Let's do this with the small camera because I don't want to break this thing anymore.
Yeah.
I can repair it. It's not actually broken, and it will go back together just fine. Let me bring this light down, and we can...
Right.
I can... Okay, handheld cam, please.
Okay. Oh, God.
So what happened here? Is this dark or light?
It's just like looking at the carpet. Good thing you vacuumed. Okay.
So
it's light.
There was an ear right here that mated here. As you can see, the ramp is 2 pieces. But when I was finagling it and flexing it, the ear cracked right here. It'll be fine. I will most likely repair this by getting a Lexan washer, cutting it, and then using a plastic epoxy to try to build it back. It's not structural. It's not that important, but it will help hold the ramp together. So,
dang.
It's annoying, but hey, the thing's out, and you'll never notice it once it's back together. So,
Daniel was like, I told you, Kyle, to use the drill.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh, man.
No big deal.
All right. It is a little more back-end work for you, right?
Yeah, and I mean, it's to be expected. So things break. Okay, now I can come in here and very gingerly use my fingers and unscrew this damn thing. Oh, I hate this. Oh, and it's not coming out either. Okay, so we're going to use a tool. I'm full of hate now.
I know. Do we have new ramps for INDY500?
I don't know. I doubt it. This is not a very popular game. They didn't make very many of them. Not necessary to make ramps, really. Where did I put all of my pliers? Now I'm losing things. Kyle's losing it. I just lost all sorts of credibility. INDY500 just beat my butt. Okay, fine. We're going to use gigantic vice grips then if I can't find the small ones. What did I do with those things? I was just using them.
That was strange.
What I'm going to try to do is use these vice grips since I can't find my small ones. Oh, shucks. I probably can't even get those in.
I have a question.
Yes.
From Parker Slutsky.
All right.
Slusky. After a playfield swap, I swapped 2 connectors and shorted out my CPU board. No! I have D19 and D21 stuck on. I already replaced my ROM. What is next? Can it be the ASIC, or should I just send out the board? Could it be basic, or should I just send out the board?
I'm trying to think of what you could have swapped backwards to screw up the game that bad, especially the computer. What game is this?
On WPC 89.
What game is it?
Parker, what game are you talking about?
That's kind of hard because that is a user created error. So there could be many things wrong. What I would recommend, if you have the ability, is to try... Oh, here it goes. I can feel it moving a little bit.
Oh, man. I wish Steve was here in the chat today.
If
M. Kunzelman on Twitch just said he would have drilled it, but the drill bit was lost in episode 3.
Oh, my... You're back, huh?
I'm crying.
Oh, my God.
Crying.
Hey, someone ban that guy. No, I'm just kidding.
No, we all remember your plights and your successes and your victories. That's just so funny.
What I recommend though with your computer, I'll address the drill bit comment in a second. Try getting another computer and swapping in a good known working computer and seeing if that solves your problem. I know not everyone is lucky enough to have all sorts of spare pinball hardware.
Ooh. It's a Twilight Zone. You're in luck because Kyle has a Twilight Zone.
Yeah, that's...
Just kidding. You're not in luck.
It's so close. I almost feel like just forcing it. There we go. Ha!
Oh, yay. Everybody clap.
Oh, I hate this thing. I want to throw it.
Do I have a sound effect for that?
What's that air horn thing that it...
I just did hustle.
Okay, so let's do a post-mortem. What camera do we have? Can you do the small camera so I can kind of see it?
Sure. Parker, we'll get to you in a second. Let's celebrate this victory real quick.
Yeah, please. So this was the bracket, right? This thing was attached through the back panel. And this expletive, I want to curse so bad, I have to keep my sailor's mouth in check, was sticking through just a millimeter or so in this channel. That was not allowing me to lift it up off the back panel. So that is what we spent 2 hours fighting against, was to get this damn thing off. Now I'm bitter. I'm grumpy, but it's okay. Life goes on.
And
now,
we're proud of you. Oh gosh, I'm moving stuff around.
I'm just gonna put that on the floor. Okay.
All right.
That
yes,
sucks.
that was a pain.
That sucked. But hey, now we have free reign to the rest of the playfield.
Yay.
What I see here, we have a lot of broken plastics. That is pretty common to have this plastic broken on an INDY500. There's a kick out right here. I think this plastic goes and covers like this whole area.
Oh, wow.
This plastic is broken. I think it goes up to here. Plastics always break over stand-up targets. If you watch that slow-mo video of whatchamacallit?
Slow-mo guys.
What's that game called? Willy Wonka. You'll notice that a lot of times when the balls hit these stand-ups, they hit and then they bounce up. So a lot of plastics, you see how this one has a big overhang like that? Mm-hmm. The ends are always broken off. So that's pretty common. This piece I don't think is broken. I think it's just a weird shape. I'm going to have to talk to the customer and tell him he owes me more 24 packs now because of that. But I want to see how much of this he wants to replace. I know that we do in fact have INDY500 plastic sets in stock. I think he really likes this game and it's going to clean up nicely, so it might be worth investing in a new plastic set. Or at least replace the broken plastics.
Yep. And you can buy it using our 24-hour free domestic shipping code.
Yeah, you should buy it so then I can't use it on this game.
Pitstop.
We need to do this. To get these things off, we needed to remove that ramp and the race car, though. But look at how chewed up and nasty these pop bumper skirts are.
So you're just replacing them completely, the skirts.
Yeah, we'll be replacing and rebuilding these skirts 100%. This one, oh my gosh, this one's super chewed up.
Oh.
That one at the top there. Oh, hold on, let me come in at a goofy angle. You see how eaten up that thing is? Looks like someone took a bite out of an ice cream sandwich. So yeah, this thing's trashed, but it's going to clean up nice. Usually when games are this dirty, the dirt is protecting the playfield. So I'm going to work on continuing disassembly while we answer more questions. What time is it?
It's 4:42.
Wow! Oh my gosh!
Mookie barking.
I hate knowing how long it takes me to do this.
All right, let's go. Oh, yeah, Pin Daddy. Yeah, it looks like the skirt I took out of my SST. Oh, SST. Come on, Kyle. SST. I love this game. He hates this game.
I mean...
Super Star Trek. Nope.
In
Space Shuttle Transformer. Wait.
In the automotive world or the mechanical world, SST is Special Service Tool. Or maybe that's just what the Germans call it for BMW.
It's at the tip of my toe.
SST probably is Stern Star Trek, the more I think about it. So, am I right?
Oh. Starship Troopers.
Oh, damn it. Okay, Starship Troopers, Sega White Star game.
That's a fun game.
Basically medieval madness,
that wasn't
but
at the tip of my tongue, actually. But that is a fun game. Okay, let's go back to Parker.
Oh.
Parker has a Twilight Zone sound connector and flipperonic connector.
Fliptronic connector? Wait, what connector? Sorry, say that one more time.
I guess is there a Fliptronic connector on Twilight Zone?
Yep.
Okay, so then the sound connector and the Fliptronic connector.
Oh,
the
geez.
CPU is not booting. So those are the two that they accidentally swapped. And then the CPU is now
Are you
not
sure
booting.
the CPU is not booting? This is a problem where I'd need to look, because that's pretty bad. I don't have any WPC games here to... Well, this uses... Oh, hey, there's my pliers I was looking for. I mean, this game is different than Twilight Zone because it's got a WPC 95 AV board, which is different. There's a DCS game. I need to look at it, right? But I can't think of any reason why blowing up the soundboard would keep the computer from running in that game. So I'd need you to really verify that the soundboard, it's the soundboard that's not working and not the computer. But again, what I would recommend, instead of running down a rabbit hole, find a friend that has a WPC 89 computer and swap and just see, right? Because if you do put a new computer in there, then you know that something is wrong with the computer, and that's what you need to address. That's probably the easiest way to do it. That's where I'd start with, right? If I came to your house, I would bring another computer to double check. So yeah, I don't know. That's a weird one. It's hard to solve some of those like user-created errors like that because there's so many variables that could be in play.
Well, good luck, Parker. Let us know what happens with your game. Twilight Zone's a great game.
Yeah, I'm curious
Chris Shower on Facebook. What do you think of Baywatch? There's not even a Baywatch in the shot.
What do I think of Baywatch?
He must know you. He loves Baywatch.
I love Baywatch. Baywatch is one of the greatest pinball machines of all time.
And he's saving up all his ducats to get a color DMD for Baywatch, and then we'll put it on the show.
Yes.
We are like 8 months and counting.
It'll happen.
Since we first talked about that.
It'll happen.
Oh.
I'm gonna
Got my bang back cup.
buy it for Christmas, I think. That'll be my Christmas present to myself. I'm gonna buy a house and then buy a color DMD, and that will make me ready to not spend any more money for quite some time.
Did you say you were gonna buy a house and a color DMD?
Yes.
Those are your two friends.
That's
right.
what
I like it.
Collectively,
Nice.
me and my wife's Christmas list says house, color DMD. I added
I
the
like
color
it.
DMD.
Oh, really? She didn't add it? Dang.
Yeah, Eska, do you want Baywatch at home? Yes. Nah, Baywatch is probably...
Next to Night Moves. It's good.
Right?
It's good.
Yeah, okay. So
Pamela in color. Yeah, Permonton, exactly.
Exactly. Baywatch it's a good game. I mean, if you took the goofy theme out of it, I think a lot more people would...
It's a fun game, yeah.
It's a fun game. Okay, here's something. We're not going to take ball guides off. We're not like going to go super crazy, right? This game's just dirty. Look at that.
Whoa!
So we'll get
That
in
was
here.
very
we'll
satisfying.
clean.
You should write your name in it.
But this is the kind of stuff you need
Wash
to do
me.
when you have the game apart. Look at all these lane guides and how loose they are. We can try tightening this, and this one's going to tighten down and cinch down real nice. But if this didn't tighten down nice, we'd want to remove the ball guide and repair it. And we would repair it using a, the dowel and glue trick that we've done once or twice before.
Yeah.
I'm going to see if I could bring one of these lights closer for the last 15 minutes. But yeah, Baywatch, good game. Good rules. Silly. I like it.
Oh, what do you think of Creature from the Black Lagoon? Ooh, I really like that game.
I love that game. That was my first pinball machine I ever bought.
Yeah, 1 year at Texas Pinball Festival, I think it was 2016, they had Creatures from the Black Lagoon on short legs on like this revolving stage, and they had just put the side mirrors. What's the company that did the...
What, the inside ones?
Yeah, like the inside, this mirror blades.
Mirror blades,
and then like had it all like lit up and like slowly moving around, and it was like this awesome modded out Creatures from the Black Lagoon. It's beautiful. It's one of my favorite B-roll shots. I try to put it in like all my little intros because it was cool.
That's a fun game. I do like it. I also remember playing that game as a kid, but also it was the first pinball game I ever owned. So it's nostalgic in many ways for me.
Yeah. Thanks for the follow, Tasty Black.
This is why I don't sell games anymore, but that's a game that I really regret selling. Well, especially now that people think they're worth their weight in gold. Well, it kind of is. It's a great game, but...
I think so. I would love to get a Creatures from the Black Lagoon and a Lights, Camera, Action together.
That's a great
and
game,
whatever Hollywood movie-themed games were in a line.
Here's actually something that is useful to know, and I think that's a great idea, but I'm going to interrupt you real quick. We had this post that has a rubber, one of the post sleeves on it, and when I was trying to unscrew this hex head bolt here, the whole thing was coming out, right? So this thing is definitely stuck within the cylinder. So normally what you would do is they have an 11/32 or a 3/8 inch nut at the bottom, and you'd be able to kind of get in here and hold it while you would break this loose. But this thing was it's really crowded back here. I'll probably end up taking this ball guide out when I clean, but I can also just remove this thing, throw it in the wrench, then we could break it loose. Like,
Nice.
Like that. Ta-da. You definitely want to go through and like remove these things and reinstall them to get them to, I don't know. Since we are taking this game apart, we do want to be able to clean in places that it will not be cleaned in a long time, right? This game overall is disgusting and filthy, but when we continue playing this game, right, it's going to get clean up front, and it's very easy to clean here, but it is very, very difficult to clean back here, especially if you've got a broken screw that goes through this hole. This will get dirty, so we really want to like get in here and clean it nice, so the next time someone has to go in to clean it, it's not going to be a filthy mess.
Nice, and I have a question, Kyle. How deep do you go when you're doing a cleaning like this, a general cleaning? Do you remove all the ball guides and pretty much everything off the playfield like you would be doing like a playfield swap, or do you just leave some stuff on there?
No, I usually leave the ball guides on. It's not gonna make that much of a difference. The thing also, right, is most of the time I'm doing something like this, I'm charging for every minute. So unless someone specifically asks that they want me to remove absolutely everything and polish this and that and, you know, make it super shiny, I'll generally just clean around these things. But in this case, it's very difficult to get back in this area.
Right.
It would make more sense for me just to kind of remove it all. You need to be gentle with some of this stuff. You know, if you try to take it out, there is a chance you will break it. This is 30 years old. It was not made to a great standard. And it's been smacked with a steel ball thousands of times. So if I leave it like this, there's no way that this shark bolt or, you know, anything is going to break. But if I remove it, there is a chance that something goofy can happen. And the amount of cleaning you'll be able to do with removing this versus not removing it is so negligible. I try to not touch things unless I really, really have to. Yeah, I don't know. Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, you need to clean, right? You don't want to, it's not like sweeping everything under the bed or under the rug or something like that. That's not a good way to do it. But there's some things you should spend time and effort doing and some things you might not want to waste time doing. And I personally think taking all the ball guides off can be kind of a waste of time. But that's also my opinion. This game's going to clean up nice. It's wide open. All these targets are good, which is nice. These things break all the time, and that's why they used them on one game and decided it was dumb and they didn't want to do it anymore. Other than having a ton of broken plastics and also gauging Steve's interest in how many of these target faces he wants to replace, this won't take long to put back together. A simple clean and go.
Nice. So next week we will be just really diving into the cleaning. It'll be a nice, fun cleaning episode. Wait, where am I going to find Kyle?
Oh, I'm
Where's
over
Kyle?
here. I just moved for a second. I just want to see. The one thing you do have to consider, in also like replacing these targets, it can kind of be a snowball effect also, where you replace one and the color is so different from the others that it might be better to just replace all of the targets. And that ends up taking time and money. These targets aren't cracked and they don't look bad, but they might not be up to the customer's standard. So I'll see if he wants to replace them or not.
Nice.
They clean up nice. This one's got a big gouge in it. But again, it's a piece of plastic that you're nailing with a steel ball, so does it really need to be perfect? Because it's not going to stay that way for long. Yeah, this one's pretty bad. If we were going to aesthetics, we'd need to replace this one. Just because it's got a big gouge right there, if that is visible.
Here's a good one. Saguido asked, if I want a general tool set for pinball repairs, can you recommend one? Aren't you working on an article for that, Kyle?
Yeah,
and
I
as
saw
you can
that
see on our scroll, we have some general tools. But Kyle, do you want to give a little rundown of some general tools for people to get?
I'm going to write a little article so y'all can like see what I think like the good basics are. But I mean, for basics, you need your nut drivers, 1/4 inch, 5/16, 11/32, and 3/8. Because remember, 90% of pinball is American sizing. You need a good number 2 screwdriver, a good number 1 screwdriver, a couple flathead screwdrivers. It depends on if you have mostly Gottliebs or not, but I like a small screwdriver and a bigger screwdriver, flatheads. You need some open end wrenches. You need like a 1/4 inch, a 5/16, and an 11/32 at the minimum. You need a 3/8 inch open end wrench to work on flippers, a 5/32 inch Allen wrench to work on flippers, an 1/8 inch Allen wrench if you're working on old Bally stuff. I'll write an article. The good things are, have a basic set of nut drivers, have a basic set of screwdrivers, have a decent soldering iron with some solder, and a set of Allen wrenches, and some pliers.
What happened?
What happened?
I was trying to get my dog to stop barking, and then I like moved my mouse and made some art on the screen.
Hey, good job.
Sorry.
So,
while I was reading Indie Pins asking what pinball games ever used metric sizes.
European games. Some European games did. I mean, there is a whole European domestic market of pinball that most of all of us have never heard of or will never see. And some of them use European stuff. Funnily enough, like the Sonic game, right, this Spanish game behind me, that thing uses, standard hardware. But there are Zaccaria games used a lot of all metric hardware. Interplay games used metric hardware. Our friend here, Daniel in chat, he had has a good collection of had a good collection of European games. I'm sure he can speak to it, but.
Yeah, he says Technoplay also use metric. Guido's like, okay, I'll just read the article. So many tools. What's your recommended wattage for the soldering iron? And we do sell those on our website as well.
My soldering iron that I carry in my toolkit is 67 watts. It's good enough to do everything on a pinball machine and good enough to do board work. For the most part. More complicated board work I do like to do in my shop with my soldering setup, but my travel toolkit, I just have a Hakko. Just get a decent Hakko soldering iron. It doesn't matter what the wattage is. Get one that has adjustable temperature. That's what really matters.
And what's your common temperature you usually use?
I set it and forget it. Most of the time on my one here, I have it set to 750 or 800 degrees Fahrenheit, obviously. And then on my my portable one, I have it set to 410 degrees. I don't know how many Celsius or how many that is in Fahrenheit, but yeah, I can't do the conversions up that high. I can do them for normal temperature, but
And Molly Hatchet asked, "Do you have?" I love your username. Do you have a desoldering gun or just use a solder sucker?
I use a solder sucker for some things, but a solder sucker is not good for... I don't really like using solder suckers for board work anymore. I do carry one in my toolbox, but I do have a desoldering iron. It's a Hakko... I used to have a Hakko 888, and then that got stolen, and now I'm borrowing a friend's... Hold on. I think it's a Hakko 301. We've used it a few times on the show.
You know, we actually did a whole episode. Saguido, you should go on YouTube, check out our PinTech Live archives on Marco Pinball. It's called Kyle's Tools, Kyle's Pinball Tools. And it's a nice whole episode about all the tools that Kyle keeps in his box.
Yeah.
Granted, unless you're doing professional pinball repair, you probably don't need half of them. But it's a good listen.
I'm gonna do a episode, or I'm gonna write an article where I kind of like type out the tools that you need. Also, I've been working on it for weeks, and I just don't have time to finish it. And now I can't find my screwdriver. Here's a pro tip: have multiple number 2 screwdrivers, or else you'll be like me and put it in your pocket or somewhere on top of the game, and then never know where it went.
IndyPin said, from YouTube, I learned that the key to using solder wick is to dip it in flux first. Oh, it's cleaner than a sucker.
I mean, so
because you never use solder wick, right? You don't like solder wick.
No, I mean it has its place, but I have tools that I don't need to use solder wick, right? I've got the desoldering iron, so there's no point in me using solder wick. And if I were to like the solder sucker, I'll use that when I'm desoldering like old coils sometimes. Get it hot and then suck away most of the solder so it doesn't have the opportunity to drip on anything. The reason I don't use a manual solder sucker on circuit boards is they're not very gentle, right? The pressure of the vacuum comes very quick and it's violent, and that can cause the pads on old circuit boards to lift up a lot. So when I'm working on like an old Bally circuit board, or especially something that's single-sided, I'm not going to explain the difference between circuit boards right now, but if I'm working on a single-sided board, generally a solder sucker can be a little too aggressive, and it will pull traces up. So I've started, if I'm doing board work, I always just have my solder sucker desoldering iron with me. Sorry, essay answer, but...
No, that was great. Mofcool says, can't wait for the playfield clean next week. Will Kyle give advice on cleaning the whiteboard where all the black glass lights left the black marks? Oh, yeah, on the backboard. Remember we were talking about the glass leaves those little black streaks?
Yeah. You know what? Honestly, I really don't ever do anything, all right? Because you can't see it.
We want to see it.
We could probably take it off with Novus. I'm going to show you how versatile Novus is.
There you go.
But that's what I'd try first, because the thing is with Novus, it's a cleaner, right? And it's very, very lightly abrasive.
I don't know what I'm doing.
But it's super, super, super gentle. So it's, it's not going to screw with much. But, I mean, again, yeah, if we were really going above and beyond, and if we were doing a restoration, right? Let's get our words in line. Like, to me, a restoration is making a game as close and as nice to factory fresh as possible, right? So if we were really going and doing a restoration, yeah, we would want this clean. I would want to replace the high voltage behind backbox sticker, right? We'd want to do all that. This is a game that the customer wants to look very nice and to play well. So a lot of the times, and a lot of times with my own personal games too, even though I do take a sense of pride in my fleet of goofy pinball machines, like this is the kind of stuff that I really don't worry about at all, right? It's just behind the back glass. You don't see it often. But where was I going with this? Well, let's mess with it.
We'll still do a test.
No, let's find a way to do it. Actually, you know what? Heck, let's just do it now.
No, let's wait for the episode.
Okay, fine.
Plus, we are...
Oh, don't tell me that. I like talking.
Done.
Oh.
PinTech Live is over. Everyone goes
Dude,
somewhere else. Just kidding.
I am so sorry that.
But yeah, we are to the end of our episode. Kyle, what else would you have to do to finish this disassembly? Can you walk us through it?
Yeah, honestly, what I'm going to do and what my level of disassembly is going to be for this project. Once I hear if we're going to replace all of these, if we're going to replace any of these stand-ups, I'm going to remove all of the posts because these posts will be replaced. They are very brittle, and they have been coated with so much nasty mill wax that they are starting to break down and chip. We will be removing all of these. Next week when we come in, I might cheat a little bit, and I might have this area reassembled. What that means is I'm going to clean the heck out of this, remove the pop bumpers, and rebuild the pop bumpers before we go on to camera. Just because we have done so much pop bumper rebuilding, I don't want to bore you doing the same thing over and over and over again. So this area might be cleaned and reassembled, but we will just have all of the plastics. We will have the lane guides off, all the slingshot hardware. I'm going to leave these targets in place. We will be able to clean around them sufficiently. And yeah, that pretty much that. We're going to leave all the lane guides on. The opto board here for the turbo fan is going to stay in place. And that's where we'll leave it. Everything's going to be taken apart and tightened. Yeah.
Nice.
That's it. I'm sorry it took us 2 hours to get this thing off, but it was fun chatting,
But
and
now you know.
maybe
Now
y'all
you
learned
know.
something. I guess like the most important thing to take away from that, I know we need to go, is just don't panic, right? If something isn't going your way, go ahead and stamp your feet and swear and be grumpy, but don't panic, right? Like there is a way to get it apart. Pinball games were not necessarily designed to be easy to take apart or put back together sometimes, but like we found a way to do it. It took a lot of wiggling and 4 or 5 different attempts. If we would have drilled the dang thing, it might have come out a lot faster. But if you don't have a drill, if you only have basic hand tools, there might be a way to get these things apart. So just kind of look at everything from every angle and try to figure out the way things are impeding each other. Honestly, that's how I've learned to do most of this, is just look at it and figure out, okay, what's the best way to take this thing apart? So, don't panic, ever. Well, sometimes panic, but not in pinball.
Awesome. Well, thank you, everybody. For everyone on Twitch, man, I'm looking for trying to see who we should raid. Any help? Any suggestions?
Mystery Pinball Theater 3000 isn't on?
Samuel and Neil McRae are both doing some Pin Clash qualifiers stuff, but
What's that?
I don't know how active they are on their stream right now.
What is Pin
We can
Clash
watch some
qualifying?
GNR at Quasar's Arcade, but the fact they put meh in front of it made me think it's not going to be that exciting. I don't know.
Uh-oh.
Mystery Pinball Theater 3000. I always loved going, but he's not online. Or at least he's not streaming on the pinball category. But thank you guys. Dang. Don't forget our 24-hour free domestic shipping code that goes on until tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern is PT-Pitstop.
Pit stop. This game came in for like a crazy pit stop. We were thinking it was gonna be, oh yeah, new tires and some gas, and no, this is like, dude, you gotta get like a whole new engine.
This is like that YouTube video where the guy goes into the pit stop and gets the new tires on, and it seems like vroom, 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 and then he speeds off to get back into the race, and then his tires just fall off.
Yep. That's kind of how the start of this episode ended up going.
Look it up. Oh man, do you guys want to look at the segment of the flipper rubber jiggle real quick while we look for someone to play with?
That'd be cool.
Let me see if I can add it real quick. So if you guys haven't watched the slow-mo guys video on pinball, they show all these awesome angles, and this is like 1,000 frames per second. Your iPhone and other smartphones do 240 frames per second max, but once you get to the thousands, it's like that corn video, Freak on a Leash, where that bullet is like going through everything and exploding stuff. That was like 1,200 frames per second. You know what I'm talking about, right?
I do, but I think we're also showing our age
The flippers
because we are
decelerate
children
so
of
fast
the
that it
late 90s,
ripples the
2000s.
rubber away from the plastic.
That was like
It
mind
occurs
blowing.
in around 0.1 of a second, so incredibly different.
okay.
You said that
Check
those
this
cameras
out.
cost like $100,000.
First, I thought something was wrong
don't you?
until I
Yes,
noticed this behavior
yeah,
on every single
absolutely.
flipper, even the upper one here.
Oh
Such
God,
force
that's
that the
loud.
rubber.
I'm sorry, that was loud.
In my quest to become better at pinball,
Look at this
I've learned
rubber
about
jiggle.
the live catch
Now,
where
someone
you
mentioned on our
right
Facebook,
as it lands on the
super
flipper,
bands do
it
not
goes
do
past
this.
each other's momentum.
Yeah.
It's, I guess,
But
like
Which
but
is true.
that's
And I was
why-
like, we need to get a slow mo camera and do a super bands version.
But that's the thing, right? And that's why super bands do play a little bit different from regular rubber. Super bands, a lot of tournament players do not like using super bands on flippers. When we did the City Champ tournament in San Francisco,
That was it.
most games had super bands on for the rubbers, right? The rubber rings. But we always would use fresh rubber rings, rubber bands around the flippers because they play different. And I think part of that, the looseness, right? Watching those flippers, the rubbers do that, really that changes the way that the balls play. I don't know. It's interesting. It would be fun to mess with that and see how they react. But they're so much tighter. They just don't have the ability to wiggle like that.
Yeah.
I think. I don't
But
know.
you can get really cool colors,
That's right.
and they're easier to clean and last longer. So
They last forever, but they just play different,
Teach
and
your
that's
own.
fine,
Yeah.
you know. But some tournament players
Independence
are
has to
very.
go play. See you
anti-
guys.
Where are we going?
I don't know. Okay, do we go to Neil McRae or do we go to Quasar's Arcade?
Quasar's is
Oh, it
in
looks like-
Canada, right? I think.
Neil McRae is in the UK.
Oh, rad. I think Quasar's is in Victoria.
Okay, hold
though,
on.
right?
Neil is back up and running, and he's doing his Pin Clash qualifications. If you guys don't know what Pin Clash is, this is a Carl D'Angelo masterpiece of IE Pinball. It's basically virtual head-to-head, possibly heads-up tournament. I should know that format.
I don't know anything about competitive pinball.
But you know how to fix them, so everyone
when I do pinball
has a
tournaments, I
purpose.
just put my money in and I hit the ball and hope I get a higher score. That's all I know.
Or Quasar's Arcade. Quasar's Arcade looks pretty cool. Look at all their games.
Is Quasar in Victoria, BC? Can someone confirm that? Because if so, I'm pretty sure it is, and I know those people, and they're
South
awesome.
Texas.
Quasar's is?
Yes.
Oh. Hey, that's cool. Texas is all right. I think. I don't know.
All right. Well, we're going to go to Quasar's Arcade,
Let's do that.
everybody. And we look forward to seeing you all next week.
Yeah.
Quasar's.
We'll actually get some work done next week.
Get your rags and get ready to clean your pinball machine while Kyle cleans his pinball machine. And it'll be like a big cleaning party.
Cleaning party.
Right?
Cleaning party.
Yeah, I love cleaning parties. I'll I don't know. I'll clean my computer screen.
Ooh.
All right. If you're on Twitch, we're going to go see you guys in the chat. We're going to go hang out on Quasar's Arcade for a little bit. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you. Is it working? Oh, now I moved my splash video. There we go. Dang, I tried to do my outro. It failed terribly. Oh, God. All right, I'm just